All right, I'm going to read through this Newsella article that was assigned to you guys just as a way to kind of help explain through some of those things before we get into our static lab. Um, so this is called Everyday Mysteries. What is static electricity? Question: how does static electricity work? Answer: static electricity is an imbalance between positive and negative electric charges in an object. So when one thing imbalance means when one thing becomes more positive or more negative, they're not in balance. One has more than the other. Protons, electrons, and neutrons. Have you ever walked across the room to pet your dog, but got a shock instead? Perhaps you took off your hat on a dry winter's day and had a hair-raising experience. Or maybe you made a balloon stick on the wall after rubbing it against your hair or clothes. Why do these things happen? Is it magic? No, it's static electricity. But how does it work? All physical things are made up of tiny parts called atoms. And this is something we had learned earlier on in the school year before winter break, too. A single atom is made of even smaller parts. They're called protons, electrons, and neutrons. Each of these parts has a certain type of charge, as we learned. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutral. Opposite charges attract each other, much like you may have learned in elementary about magnets. So opposites attract. For example, negative charges, electrons, they attract positive charges, or protons. If charges are the same, however, they push each other away. So negative will push away negative, positive will push away positive. Since every object is made of atoms, the charges add up to give the object an overall charge. Most of the time, positive and negative charges are balanced. A balanced charge makes that object neutral. So if there's the same number of protons and the same number of electrons, it's called a balanced charge or neutral. Static charge wants to jump towards its opposite. Static electricity is the result of an imbalance between negative and positive charges in an object. These charges can build up on the surface of an object, and they keep building up until they find a way to be released or discharged. The static charge always wants to jump towards its opposite charge. When certain materials rub against one another, they transfer negative charges, or electrons. For example, if you rub your shoe on the carpet, your body collects extra electrons. It picks them up off the rug. And they cling to your body until they can be released. Let's say you're walking along the carpet to pet your dog. As you reach and touch your furry friend, you get a shock. This shock is caused by the extra electrons being released or jumping from you to your pet. What about that hair-raising experience? As you remove your hat, electrons are transferred from hat to hair, creating an interesting hairdo. Remember objects with the same charge try to push each other away? Because your hairs all have the same charge, they will stand on end. Your hairs are simply trying to get as far from each other as possible. When you rub a balloon against your clothes and it sticks to the wall, you're adding more electrons, negative charges, to the surface of the balloon. The wall now has a more positive charge than the balloon, and as the two touch each other, the balloon will stick because of the rule that opposites attract.